Episode 11 of 90 Day The Last Resort opens up with Ed saying, "I've never played life-size chess before. In fact, Liz thought I was one of the pieces." This right here is going to go down in Big Ed history as the event because it's the first time that he's told a funny joke on one of these TV shows. And we're also proud of Ed. He's come such a long way since he started his past life regression therapy with Jenny's clone. Right now, Liz and Ed are having a lot of fun playing chess, and then Ed asks her how the night was with the girls.
We had a very good-looking waiter.
Is he your type?
No.
Okay, good.
Definitely not.
The good news for Ed was that the waiter wasn't Liz's type. However, the bad news for the waiter was that he is Angela's type, aka the Dirty Bird.
What's your name?
Diego.
Where
And you?
from?
From Haiti.
Haiti?
Yeah.
My husband's from Nigeria, but we might be getting divorced.
You're next in line, Diego, is what she's saying.
Trust me, Diego's not in line. They should leave Diego alone. He's just trying to do his job. You know what, Kalani? As a member of the boys, I can tell that Diego is thinking to himself, in what universe does the Dirty Bird think that she has a chance with me? It's so insulting.
I made a drink up, and I called it Michael because the color looks horrible. Like, but it tastes so sweet.
Nah, yo, hold my poodle. Hold my poodle.
What a crazy thing to say, and how she worded it is so sus. Michael, you might want to come get your pen pal because she's being whack again. And between us, dude, we don't even know if she filed your paperwork to bring you over to the United States. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? It has been years since we've seen them go on multiple spin-offs of this show, and he's still not in the United States, so I'm side-eyeing her hard.
And that's how I look at Michael, because he treated me like but damn, he tastes pretty sweet.
She's a married woman that constantly badmouths her husband for disrespecting her in the same way that she's disrespected him in the past. If the therapist and the other cast members weren't so trash, they would inform Angela that she's able to stay at a nice luxury resort on the beach in Miami thanks to Michael. So a little gratitude goes a long way, or in her native language, Dirty Bird speak. Anyways, as Liz is telling Ed about their night, she leaves out the whole Angela flirting with the waiter part. Liz is feeling mad curious how the boys' night was, so she asked Ed how the night was. Ed responded that as soon as he walked into the strip club, a girl that was 7'5" walked up to him and put her boobs in his face, and it made me think of that Amazon episode from Futurama. Then Ed asked Liz to bend down a little bit so he can demonstrate what the stripper did to him on her. And while Ed is doing this, I'm thinking to myself, how funny would it be if we took Brandon to the strip club, because that would send Mary's mind to the worst place.
It was actually Jovi's idea to call you to get permission.
Oh, that's real sweetie pie of Ed to give Jovi props for that, because Jovi did not reciprocate that. As we saw from our last episode, as soon as Jovi got called out by his wife Yara for going to the strip club and lying to her about it, he threw Asuelu and Ed in front of the bus so quick. Ed has definitely been better, but he's not where I want him to be yet, because he didn't tell Liz that he grabbed the stripper's butt, even though he promised her that he wouldn't touch any of the girls there.
Yara was sitting right next to me and overheard Jovi say it because you were on speakerphone.
Ed goes on to say that that's their communication, meaning that Jovi should have been honest with his wife, and I completely agree. Not to mention, you guys, I rewinded the footage the other night, and you can clearly see that Jovi pushed Ed to grab the stripper's butt, and even before that, he was like the horny little devil on Ed and Asuelu's shoulder. Liz then asked how Asuelu acted at the strip club, and Ed responded,
If Kalani would have saw that, oh my God. I know there's been infidelity and cheating, but she hasn't extended him a branch.
A somewhat fair point by Ed, because what's the point of going on the show and doing the most to involve your children if you're not actually serious about working things out with the father of the kids?
It is really hard seeing Ed's side with Asuelu, knowing how much I know. Can feel myself like getting a little rattled talking about the situation.
Clap it up for Liz, the self-elected president of the Kalani fan club. Here's the thing for Liz. Before they went on the show, you're absolutely right. Asuelu shit the bed. He cheated on her 12 times. He doesn't deserve a second chance, all of that. On the show, Kalani hasn't put in that much effort to save their relationship either. Kalani waited until she went on this family vacation because she involved her sister and her children in this before leaving in the middle of the night like a sneaky rat to go and bang another dude as a married woman. And you don't see a problem with that because you're also a broken toy. The next cast members we see, Socks, are Angela, Jovi, and Yara. They're walking to a boat. Ed and Liz are also going to be joining them. The only couple that is excluded from this is Kalani and Asuelu, because Kalani called a private emergency therapy session. Asuelu brings up to the therapist that he didn't know where his wife was throughout the night and in the morning, which made his mind go to the worst place.
I went out, I stayed out, and I told you I was coming back.
And you didn't come back.
I came back. I told you I was at breakfast.
We know what kind of breakfast you were eating, the Dallas Sausage Supreme. Can we get a money shot at Kalani? Just be honest with him. You called this emergency therapy session for a reason.
Asuelu, I saw him clearing messages. Mm-hmm. It's a little suspicious.
I just cleared all my messages. I didn't hide or do anything.
You did hide it if you turn your phone so your wife can't see what you're doing, Asuelu. Someone might want to get him some crayons and a sticker book. What a dumbass. For Kalani, why would you want to breed with someone that can't even keep up in a conversation? He should have prioritized repairing his relationship with his wife over spending time with the other loser dudes on the show.
He did fly out here. He asked if I would meet him where he was to talk about things.
All of a sudden, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Kalani is honest with Asuelu and lets him know that she banged Dallas.
We ended up doing other things.
Asuelu starts losing control of his body. He's having a full-blown mental breakdown upon hearing this news. What can I say? You almost feel bad for the kid, and then when you stop and think about it, Kalani has experienced what he's experiencing now times 12. Now I will say for Kalani, she's trying to paint it like she went over there to talk to Dallas to sort out her feelings. You went over there to get your cheeks clapped. Kalani then says to the therapist that she has to fight so hard to earn affection from her husband Asuelu, but not this other guy. She then turns to Asuelu and says, I know you're trying really hard, but it's too late. Then Asuelu asks his wife Kalani if she wants to divorce him, and she responds yes, and after that he puts his head down and starts crying. The therapy session ends with Kalani and Asuelu deciding to get a divorce. It's about time, and they decide to remain friends for the sake of the children. Cutscene to the other broken toys on the boat. Ed makes a joke that they should take the boat to the strip club, and Jovi of course thinks that that's hilarious. Angela then tells Jovi and Ed that she's real upset with them for FaceTime and Michael when they were at the strip club and showing him the strippers because he's not allowed to see that.
The first thing he did when I called him, he was like, Jovi, no. He respected you enough to say he didn't want to be included.
I wish you respect me that much too.
Oh yeah, why don't you respect your own wife, Jovi? You got a lot of nerve wanting this woman to give you a second child when you disrespect her every chance you get, doing the most to look at other naked women.
Now, I feel bad for hiding it from her, and I deserve for her to be mad at me, right? But Yara has a more conservative approach to sex because of our cultural differences.
The audacity of this dude, trying to use her culture as justification to go to the strip clubs. He also tried to paint strip clubs as an American thing. They got strip clubs all over the world, dude.
For her, it's frowned upon, but I feel like it's just entertainment.
Doesn't really matter that you view the strip club as a source of entertainment when you know for a fact that your wife has a huge problem with you going to strip clubs. So she's tried to establish this boundary with you for a long time and you choose to ignore it. Here's a fun solution that not one therapist has brought up. Sign your wife up for pole dancing classes. They have those. You can even take them too, and it would be so jokes because you could do the magic mic for her and then she could strip for you at home and you don't have to pay her to do it.
Jovi tell me that y'all don't behave, y'all touch everybody, and Joey was the only one who was an angel, innocence, and just y'all been bad.
First of all, I'm not going to get upset or listen to any of this until I hear from Jovi why you have the nerve to ask both of us to lie for you.
It's ironic how quick Jovi was to throw the other guys in front of the bus about going to the strip club, when realistically it was his idea from the start. Not to mention, he's talked about the importance of bro code throughout this entire season. Something very telling happens next. Michael wants to say something to Jovi, so Angela hands the screen to Jovi. He holds it, and while Yara is talking, Jovi prioritizes hearing what Michael has to say over his wife and even tells his wife to shut up.
He wasn't good, you know? He was trying to hide it from me that they go into the
Wait, say again what you said? Yara, shut up.
This is a huge fucking pet peeve of mine. Why are you prioritizing Michael, someone that's not even physically there, a stranger, over your wife that you sleep next to every night? When this happens, all the cast members are looking around and it's very awkward because no one agrees with how he's talking to his wife here. Broseph, your strip club addiction is resulting in your wife having insecurities about what she looks like. That's so sad. I believe that everybody deserves to be with someone that looks at them the way Anakin looks at Padme. While this is happening, Big Ed, the Hokage of the No Neck Village, can't wait to dig into Jovi, because in the past seasons they've been on, Jovi has got on him a lot about the way that he spoke to Liz. So now he's speaking to Yara very disrespectfully, and he feels like it's his time to unleash the beast. While the other cast members are trying to hold Jovi accountable, he's laughing it off, saying that he feels outnumbered by everyone. Yara then turns to Jovi and says, if you're going to talk to me like that, you're gonna go and fucking marry a stripper, okay? And you know what? This got me to thinking. Jovi was actually very respectful to the strippers in the club. He was more respectful to them than he's being to his wife here, which is crazy. When Yara said this, Liz applauded her for defending herself, and then Ed said something that sent Jovi into full-blown panic mode.
Can you ask Jovi who he was texting last night?
Oh my gosh.
Look at Jovi's eyes. He's like, Ed, shut the fuck up. I'm so happy that Ed brought this up, because he threw him in front of the bus earlier, so it's only fair that now Ed throws him in front of the bus.
Who were you texting last night?
It's even funnier because Ed's wearing a very mischievous face as he outs Jovi.
What?
Oh my
You've
God.
been what?
Some stripper in Jamaica.
Are you serious?
Firm handshakes to Ed for outing Jovi here. This is what you get for trusting Ed with your secrets. And another thing that makes this comedy gold is that Jovi was bragging for many episodes to the other guys about this stripper that he banged in the past. All of a sudden, it's the day when they go to the strip club, her place of work, and he's trying so hard to meet up with this girl, and she's a no-show. Because you're married and that's dirty.
Please look at me and tell me who you text. Which stripper in Jamaica?
No stripper
The
in
stripper
Jamaica.
who you traveled to Jamaica?
The one he traveled with.
He is shitting the bed here. I might have to start calling him Amber. So Jovi tries to justify texting this stripper behind his wife's back by saying that he just asked her if she lives in Key West and what club she works at, which is such fan behavior. It's so cringe. So Yara puts Jovi on blast. She starts asking him, why would you message this girl? I know that you're attracted to this girl. Didn't you think about how that would make me feel as your wife? We get a look at Ed, and he's having too much fun stirring up the pot right now. So he adds flames to the fire by bringing up that Jovi invited this girl out to party with them. And when this happens, Jovi is so pressed, he turns to Ed and says, what the fuck? You didn't have to call me out like this. Well, thank God he did, Jovi, because if he didn't, your wife wouldn't have known that you were messaging another girl behind her back. Jovi tells his wife Yara that he invited the stripper to hang out with him and the boys because he wanted to have fun with the boys, which doesn't make any sense because the stripper's a girl. Yara responds, oh, you wanted to have fun with the stripper, huh? And then she throws a drink in his face, which is deserved. And the funniest part is when this happens, Angela turns the screen so Michael can see the drama unfold as well. Poor Yara's hysterically crying, so she gets up and walks away, and the other women stand up, walk over to comfort her on the other side of the boat. Angela, aka the Dirty Bird Kaka, even says to the audience that she hates the way that Jovi is speaking to Yara and treating her, and he better be careful because Mima's always watching. Liz definitely didn't deserve the Dirty Bird screaming in her face, but Jovi might.
Yara threw a drink in his face because he was texting a girl at the strip club. That's why, Michael, you shouldn't text other women. Learn from this.
And telling Michael to treat this as a lesson as Jovi is wiping the alcohol off his face is so jokes. It's especially funny to hear these words coming out of Ed's mouth because he's been messaging hella girls behind Liz's back in the past.
Not just a stripper, that's the chick with who he has like relationship. He go with her he invite her to Costa Rica or wherever they go. They spend like 2 weeks together.
Yo, the tea. I'm surprised that Yara didn't push this man off the boat and tell him to swim to shore. Cutscene to Jovi and Ed getting snippy with each other. The claws are out.
Ed, that was pretty tough.
Dude, you tried to get me to lie to my wife.
I did not try to get you to lie
Yes,
to her.
you did. And your whole point was to try to take me down.
I was not
But I
trying to...
saw through your plan.
Okay, Ed, as much as a little shit this guy is, he's not wrong because this entire season, Jovi has been trying to get all the guys to board his sinking ship. For Jovi, unfortunately, Ed figured out your plan and exposed you. What's done is done. You should be comforting your wife instead of trying to save face right now.
I'm sorry that happened.
Can I have your phone, Jovi? Can I have your phone?
Stop. It's over. Okay?
Nah, that's how you know he sent this girl some wild shit when he won't even surrender his phone to his wife so that she can see the messages.
Do this to me.
Stop. You threw a drink in my face. Just please don't even get near me right now.
No, I want to see it.
And he has some nerve to talk about how the conversation is done with. You don't get to decide that. The person that inflicts the damage gets to decide when the conversation's over? No.
Yeah, this is why
I deserve that. I deserve that. I'm not denying that I didn't deserve that, but like enough is enough, okay? That's it.
Did she show up? You texted her.
She did not come.
Yara's just thinking to herself, what would have happened if she showed up? Would Jovi have cheated on her? Probably, because alcohol was involved.
Listen, I was drunk. I up, okay, and that's it.
So no, if I get drunk, I can go and text some dude?
That's not a good excuse.
Why the you married if you like her then?
After being dismissive and rude to his wife, Jovi tries to apologize to Yara, and she says that you can take your apology and shove it up your anus. When this happens, it bruises his ego, so he walks away like a little pouty boy.
You crying, boy? Maybe we'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a lamb burger and some French fries.
I didn't mean anything bad by it. Like, I didn't want to hook up with the stripper. I just wanted to, you know where she worked and know how the guys can go out for a fun night and have a good time. That's it.
Oh, whatever, Jovi. That's a lie. You didn't ask her for suggestions. You invited her out to party with y'all. That's a huge difference.
But you have hooked up with her in the past, right?
I have hooked up with her in the past. I mean, that's a long time ago. It's in the past before I even met Yara. It's not something that's been recent, so.
Oh, PU, the lack of acknowledgement that what you did was a bad thing is astounding, my guy. Just admit it. After telling the audience his side of the story, Jovi walks back to rejoin the broken toys, sit in his beanbag chair, and he brings a real bad attitude with him to the beanbag chair because he's a level -3 at taking personal accountability.
You know, we're just trying to help each other, and you're most voice.
I don't feel like everybody's trying to help me, to be honest.
Jovi goes on to tell Ed that what he did was unnecessary, calling him out like this. And Yara cuts Jovi off by saying what's unnecessary is the fact that you involved Ed and Liz into this and wanted them to lie for you. Then Ed says something that really gets under Jovi's skin. He says, why don't you explain to your daughter where you were? When this happens, I'm hysterical because Ed's daughter doesn't even talk to him. So for him to use the daughter card is such a low blow. This comment was super effective against Jovi, but Jovi is not about that action. And you can tell by how he stands up like he's gonna fight Ed, but then he does this goofy front step that kids do when they're scared to fight. Let's get a replay of the front step. It's so lame. If he was really about that action, he would have knocked Ed out. It's not that hard. When this happened and Jovi and Ed almost fought, Liz actually stepped up and involved herself trying to defend Ed. And it's sweet of her to try and defend her man, but at the same time, this is no place for a woman. This is a fight between two men. At this point, the whole camera crew is on high alert because Jovi walks up to Ed and tells him he's gonna fuck him up, and Ed doesn't shy away from the conflict. He actually steps up to Jovi as well. Yeah, creature battle royale. I thought that they were gonna throw hands, but they ended up not throwing hands, which is lame. Members of the film crew step in and separate Jovi from Ed, and while this is happening, they're talking shit to each other the whole time.
Just don't say another word, please.
Maybe he needs to realize he's hurting you.
I get it.
Liz says this, then walks away and talks to the audience, and she's taking this as an opportunity to point out that Ed didn't physically defend her from Angela in the past. However, she defended him from Jovi.
He didn't do that for me.
Elizabeth, right now you're coming across like you have a chip on your shoulder and you have something to prove. Here's the thing. Ed should have defended you from Angela. Absolutely. I agree with you. However, for this particular situation, it was a fight with two men. Jovi already has the height advantage. He has the reach advantage. The last thing that Ed needs is to fight with concern for you. Cutscene out Asuelo packing up his shit in the hotel room. The next thing you know, Kalani shows up and they start talking about how they're both emotionally drained from today.
I do think that it would be best if we just right away divorce.
I agree with Kalani here that her and Asuelo should get divorced right away, especially because she's been moved on with Dallas. At this point, there's no reason to remain married to Asuelo. If anything, that would be a bad look. Cutscene back to the broken toy boat ride from hell. Liz is blaming Ed for putting her in a dangerous situation, which is so loaded because that situation had nothing to do with her.
They put me in an unsafe situation because you don't know when to shut up.
Maybe you're lying.
I don't want small kisses right now, baby. Like,
you know that's Liz.
Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this, but Ed is being very patient with Liz here. I would have said something like, babe, I really appreciate that you wanted to stand up for me. However, that's a fight between two men, and I really don't want to be in a physical altercation while I have to worry about your safety. If anything, it just seems like Liz is trying really hard to make Ed look bad because he's disrespected her in the past. The captain then politely asks the creatures to remain seated while he docks the boat, and as soon as Jovi hears this, he stands up and walks off the boat, and the other creatures are like, why are you doing this? The captain just said to remain seated, and they're asking Jovi where he's going, and he ignores them and just keeps walking. I'm gonna stop here, you guys, because a lot of this drama bleeds into the next episode, and episode 12 is the last episode from this season. Meaning our next episode is the grand finale, so we gotta go all out, Socks. If you got some spare change, please check out our merch. If you want some one-on-one time with me, please order a Cameo. I'm the #1 Cameo creator in the entire world. Super thankful that y'all watch my content. Comment below, subscribe. Let's be friends, let's be friends. Follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.